Now, I absolutely love checking out cheap gear. Now, I don't mean that in a negative way either. I'm talking about the PC gear that sits at the bottom of the pile at the cheaper end of the scale. And really, in my eyes, the more unknown, the better. Now, I hadn't heard of Maono before their reps reached out asking me if I wanted to check out their PD200X microphone. It was an unknown brand at the time, but as I said, being at the cheaper end of the market, I was all in. I wanted to give this thing a real test. The Maono PD200X is a dynamic microphone that's actually pretty lightweight and quite small in size compared to other dynamic microphones we've tried on the channel before. It really mimics that of the Shure MV7 or the SM7B, which you probably all know, which we all know anyway are extremely popular microphones when it comes to podcasting or content creation, but it costs pretty much 1/3 of the price. Now, it does have some flashy RGB strip though to really keep within the gamery theme, though can only be utilized if you're using the microphone as a USB microphone. There is a button on the bottom to change the color or activate a rainbow wave pattern. The microphone itself is all black with a removable foam pop filter. It comes with a shock mount as standard in the box, and it's branded Maono down two sides, and the microphone is incredibly lightweight, though it was right at home on my Rode boom arm I usually use on my gaming setup, and was able to balance in place no problem at all. Now, by the way, you get all of the adapters that you need to use this microphone with a stand or boom arm in the box. Now, what's unique about the Maono PD200X microphone is the fact that you have a choice of USB Type-C or XLR inputs on the bottom of the microphone. Now, this means that you can use this as a great plug-and-play microphone without the need for any other equipment, like I'm recording this video right now. Actually, you probably need a laptop or something like that, so you can install the driver onto your PC and then start recording audio that way. Now, the other way to use this microphone is if you use it with something like this, which is the Maono Caster, which is a audio interface, or on my desk behind me I do have a Wave XLR, and you can use it that way as well. Now, either way, there is no real difference in audio quality in my opinion. I couldn't notice anything anyway, though you do get to customize your audio slightly when using the PD200X as a USB microphone. So jumping over to the software on my desktop now, you can see that it's got two sections on here. The first is your standard settings, and then you have got an advanced side as well, which is currently grayed out, but we'll go through that in this part of the video. I have set my gain to 54%. I can change the gain on the fly with the dial on the front of the microphone, as you can see, but 54% seemed to be a pretty decent level for me, especially when it came to recording on OBS as well, which is what I'm currently doing at the moment. Headphone and volume or headphone volume mic monitoring on and off. I can turn that off if I don't want it. I'm not using headphones at the moment to monitor myself, but I can also select what I want to hear compared to what I want to monitor as well. Either here or again, if I click in the dial on the microphone, you can set it there. So we've got several tones that we can choose from. The first is a deep tone. This is what comes as standard when you first plug the microphone in using a USB cable, which is what I've done. Changing to the original tone, this is what you can come to expect from the audio quality. Changing over to a changing over to a natural tone, this is what you can come to expect. And then finally, legacy, which looks to me as if I'm clipping, especially on the Maono software, but I do quite like the natural tone, but then also the deep tone to give it that more podcasty type feel. And then if you want to, you can change the RGB effects on the software, so I can turn them off, and you can see in the video of me in the corner that it has been turned off, or I can turn it back on again, and then I can choose from different colors. Very basic stuff. Flipping over to the advanced side, pretty much exactly the same in terms of the first half of the settings, but you have got an EQ setting, so you've got a flat, a high pass filter, you've got a presence boost. So this is what the high pass filter will sound like, and this is what the presence boost will sound like. And then finally, you've got a HPF being a high pass filter and a presence boost on there at the same time. You haven't got a manual equalizer by the looks of it. You can only use the preset EQs, which I suppose it's a basic microphone, right? So it's not giving you a huge amount of options. So set that back to flat. And you've also got a limiter on here as well, and then also a compressor, which if you click and tick them, you can turn them on. Not too bad in terms of Settings, I would have liked maybe a manual EQ to really tweak your voice, but I'm not really complaining because this is only a £60 microphone. I still think it sounds pretty decent, even as is with this basic software. So for some specifications, the PD200X is using a cardioid polar pickup pattern to which you need to speak directly into the top of the microphone. It has a sample rate of 24-bit 48 kHz and a frequency response of around 40 Hz to 16 kHz. Now when it came to off-axis rejection due to that cardioid pickup, the PD200X handled it very well. This is just a quick off-axis rejection test. The microphone is about 3 inches away from me at the moment, but this is what it sounds like front on. This is what it sounds like at 90 degrees. This is what it sounds like at 180 degrees. And now we're front on. And in terms of its proximity effect, when I was pretty much on top of the microphone, it produced a very bassy audio when using it with an XLR cable into my Wave XLR audio interface, as well as with a USB cable directly into my PC, and even when I started customizing the audio as well to the more natural sounding tone, it still produced a very bassy sound. So first test of the proximity effect, my mouth is pretty much on top of the microphone, and this is the sound that you're going to be getting. And this is me about 3 inches away, or an entire hand span away from the microphone itself. And moving back, this is about 3-4 feet away from the microphone, and the proximity effects that you're going to get at this distance. Now its sweet spot, I would say, is definitely best used at around 3 to 5 inches away from your mouth, like I am right here, to really get the best quality out of this microphone. And just to include as well is an example of background removal when typing on a mechanical keyboard through this microphone. Now the PD200X microphone really does a decent job of cutting out background audio, but it isn't gone completely, and you will need to run some kind of noise removal filter on your audio during your live streaming or podcast. And just to take note, for the test, I ran this microphone in its purest form at the same gain levels as the other tests, but removed my noise reduction filter. And just for a final test, let's run this microphone while playing a game to give you an idea of what you can expect when gaming or using this microphone for a live streaming situation. At the moment, we've found ourselves in the crater. I'm not really sure where we're supposed to go from here. Although we have started a new level. That's been the first secret I have found in a while. And as you can see, this game is pretty much reminiscent of the old school shooters that you'd come to expect from, I don't know, the early 90s, mid 90s with things like Quake and Doom, Wolfenstein. Now, is this microphone really worth its £60 price tag? Well, yes, absolutely. If you're in the position of starting a new project like a podcast or live stream and really want to level up your audio for not very much money at all. It doesn't handle proximity too well like some other more expensive microphones on the market, so you've got to keep yourself controlled in this area, and as long as you're not eating the microphone, you're going to be just fine. Using it as a USB or XLR microphone does have its advantages, and it's nice that both inputs are included here to give users the choice. Yes, the microphone feels a little bit plasticky, but at the end of the day, it's a £60 microphone. Find me a £60 microphone that doesn't feel like this. It's a decent offering for sure. Thank you very much for checking out this video review of the Maono PD200X dynamic microphone. If you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to keep up with our latest tech and gaming videos, and let us know in the comments down below if this is something that you would choose for your live streaming, podcasting, playing games with your friends, anything. Or if you are looking at an entry-level microphone, what have you looked at already? Let us know in the comments down below. As I say, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.